We dropped the largest non-nuclear bomb ever. 36 ISIS fighters are dead in Afghanistan. Of course, we all know the nickname of it is the mother of all bombs. Lieutenant General Lt Boykin joins us now to discuss. General, thanks for coming on. First time used in combat. Why? Why was this the first time the mother of all bombs was deployed?
Yeah, well, first of all, Charles, I think it was a great strike. I think the second point is that Donald Trump says that the commander on the ground there, General Nickerson, had the authority to do this on his own. But thirdly, I don't think this had as much to do with killing ISIS as it did sending a message to both North Korea, China, and then finally Iran, because their nuclear facilities are in deep underground bunkers and tunnels, and that's what the target in Afghanistan was. So I think it was messaging to them more than it was killing ISIS. So
in successive weeks, we have very strong messages rather, sent to the bad actors of the world that there's a new president who's not going to have a feckless, indifferent approach to this, that he's determined, that he means what he says, and that he is willing to take swift action. The question now is if these bad actors if they don't listen to this message, if in the next 24 hours we get a nuclear bomb exploded in North Korea, what happens?
Well, that's a good question. I think we're as close to a wartime scenario on the Korean Peninsula as we've been in my lifetime since the Korean War, certainly. But what happens? I think this is going to be diffused. I think that China is working very hard. And look, give President Trump credit. You know, with what he did in Syria, and at the very same time that he was talking to the president of China, I think the president got the message. I think they still haven't figured Donald Trump out. They're not sure what he's going to do. So I think China is going to continue working. China's been very active in trying to defuse the situation, and I think the South Koreans are appealing to the Trump administration to move with great caution. We've given them air defense, sophisticated air defense, and we've got a naval task force off the coast now. So I think we're ready to launch a preemptive strike, but I don't think it's going to come to that.
And of course, those THAAD missiles that we put in South Korea offended China. And by the same token, it's been revealed that some of these newer missiles that North Korea has been using, the key components have come from China. So it's a murky, complicated situation, isn't it?
It is indeed. And I think that the fact that we have not only used this GBU-43 in Afghanistan, but that we have put missiles there, and we have put a very powerful, about 97 tons of diplomacy off the coast of Korea, is a clear indication that Donald Trump is ready to act. Now, he doesn't want that to happen, and none of us want to see war there, but I think the Chinese are taking this very seriously, and ultimately, I think they will be the ones that will bring this to a conclusion short of war.
Yeah, a main Chinese paper yesterday warning North Korea that President Trump is, quote, brimming with confidence, and that it would be wise for them to back off of this. But just about 2 hours ago, one of their key officials warning that he thinks that conflict could break out at any moment, and also the foreign minister warning that if war occurs, he said there could be no winners. And I think this is something sane people understand, but what about this perhaps insane leader of North Korea?
Well, he is very unstable. We all know that. I mean, this is a guy that's killed his own family, and he is very unstable. That's why I think that I think China will, in fact, prevail in this thing. But ultimately, I think China's going to make sure that Kim Jong-un's future is not as the president of North Korea. I think they're going to remove him one way or the other.
Yeah.
And you're going to see somebody that is more stable put in there, because the last thing the Chinese want is 2 million refugees pouring across their border, or more American military forces on the Korean Peninsula.
Yeah,
China has a huge interest.
Three generations of madness is enough, I think, for everyone. General, thank you so much for your wisdom and your time.
Thank you very much, Charles.